name's John McGrath, and you're watching Internet Gold Miner. Okay guys, what you're going to see here is the Wednesday shaft on one of our properties, and I wanted to add this in episode 2, but we didn't have the time to finish it up and whatnot. We had some technical difficulties. Essentially dropped a GoPro down one of the bigger mine shafts to see how safe it was, see what was down there, maybe identify some tunnels and whatnot, and it worked. The biggest issue we had was the spinning of the camera. I'm going to work on something to maybe direct the camera a little bit better. Of course, the Wi-Fi didn't work worth a darn going to the cell phone, so that we had to switch up. You'll see some tunnels down there. One that looks like it's a bit caved, one that looks like it goes deep. I actually have the map of exactly all the workings down there. You'll find some tooling, some wood that caved in from what was up on top at one time, and this is only level 1. This is about 80 foot. This goes down 300 foot. There's various rooms down below, so the camera was getting stuck in places and whatnot. Didn't want to lose a $400 GoPro, so I was being pretty careful about it. But I think you'll find it pretty interesting, and then we're going to have a commentary after this video on what our assays showed for this property. Hey, I wanted to catch you guys up on that hard rock claim that you saw. I think that was what, number 3, that we were doing all the rock crushing on. And actually there's 2 claim groups there, 2 claims in one grouping. And we did all our crushing and panning and all that garbage. And looking through it at the microscope, we decided to send the stuff in for some assays, which takes a little bit of time. That's why I'm here now to clear up what we found and to totally identify anything. So what happens a lot of times is, being a micro miner, you can't identify everything. You're not a geologist. If you don't have a geo friend that will help you out, sometimes they can't identify the stuff. So you got to send it in for an assay. That's just how mining is. So what we did is we sent it in for an XRF analysis. And what we got back on 2 separate samples from 2 different locations that we took, and you saw the different samplings that we did. I believe we had 4 separate samples, and they turned out pretty good. And to be quick and easy on this, let's just say that the gold came out to 697 parts per million, and the silver was 1,415 parts per million. We also had a little bit of platinum on there, 362, some rhodium. This is some rare earth stuff. We knew that there was a lot of iron because it was very magnetic. So that's what we were kind of finding in the pan. What else was in there? Of course, arsenic, some strontium, lots of lead, lots of chromium, and so on. So that's essentially what we have there. What do those numbers mean? Those numbers mean that we have a good claim and that it's worth something. Are we going to continue working it? Yes, we will. The claim does have some sulfides in it, which is pretty much standard. We're not going to be able to extract all the gold like a big operation, but it's still worth working, and possibly might be up for sale at some point to maybe sell to a Canadian junior company. That's going to be it. So this is very good news. So do yourself a favor, is don't guess. Get yourself an assay. So that's going to be your best bet. The XRF, I highly recommend it. I don't recommend going out purchasing one. I wish they were cheaper, but being a micro miner, I can't afford $20,000. Even a used one, they're running 10, 12 grand, so not going to happen. Anybody seeing this, however, would like to donate one to your internet miner, I'll be glad to, pump your company or whatever. But I don't think that's going to happen either. So anyways, XRF analysis. The company that I use was ExpressXRFanalysis.com. They're out of the Sacramento, California area. Good folks, and they take care of you. You can rush it. This was the 2-week price at the $25. You can rush the analysis and do an overnight, which will cost you, I believe it was $50 per sample. So if you want it rushed, it'll cost you more. Being the micro miner, we're running on the cheap schedule, so we had to wait our 2 weeks. So what does that assay give you? It gives you, I guess, a little peace of mind, you might want to say. You have a claim, you've worked hard to find this claim, to stake it out, or if you purchased one, you put some money out to do that. But having these assays in your file folder will actually help pump up the price of what the claim is worth if it's a good assay. If it's a bad assay, well, you're going to be SOL. But most of the time, if you're doing things right and you have a good property, you've got these assays to back up with what you're saying. So if you go to sell your claim, you pull out these assays and say, hey, I got this on such and such a date, and this will do that. Also, if you're a small miner and you're doing the small miner exemption, you can put the price of these assays down on your yearly maintenance fee waiver. Don't forget about that. In Nevada, they're pretty lenient on it. You just put the assay down. So we spent 50 bucks on 2 assays. That's half the yearly waiver for the claim. You need $100. We'll get into more of that later on staking a claim and explaining that on a different episode. But anyways, that's worth doing just for that reason alone. That's half our $100 maintenance fee for the year that we can put down in our paperwork. So there you go. I wanted to leave you with the last word about assays. Don't go assay crazy, but you got to be smart about it. Remember, XRF assays are going to identify elements that you don't know what they are in your pan. So you take this in, you need at least about to be safe, about a quarter size of material to send in. At least that's the lab that I use, what they say. And it's going to identify the elements and how much of that element is in the material that you send in for a sample. A fire assay is going to give you, it's going to cost you more, first of all. You'll need a larger sample, and it's going to tell you how much of, say, gold or silver or whatever you're going for is going to be per ton of that material, such and so on. As simple as that. Don't go crazy with them. Be smart about it. You're a micro miner. You don't have the money some of these big companies have where they have their own labs. And just go from there. That's going to be it. I'm John McGrath, and you're watching Internet Gold Miner. Keep panning for that color.